to Destination Station. As always, I'm Destin. I have a guest here today. He's going to be a regular on my channel. This is a new series I'm having on my channel. It's called What's Brewing. It's basically what's brewing in the media industry as far as movies, games, TV, just what's new today. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. Just came up with What's Brewing, kind of hence the name. We're drinking some beer. This is Martin Bachhol, one of my good friends. He's a big time gamer. He keeps up with all the gaming news and everything. So I'm gonna start integrating gaming news and stuff like that into my channel, and maybe some as far as I'm still gonna blog. I'm still gonna come up with like movie reviews and movie topics, steelbook unboxings and stuff like that. But yeah, this is Martin Bachhold. This is his first time on camera on this channel, so we are going to start doing this every weekend starting today. This is episode 1 of What's Brewing, and next Friday will be episode 2, so be looking out for that. We're going to do it every week. And Martin, glad to have you here today.
Appreciate it.
All right. First, we're going to start on movies, and all these links are going to be in the description down below, so if you want to just jump to something and check something out, you can go ahead. But basically, it was announced this week. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about that. It was announced this week that we're getting a Devil's Rejects sequel. That at first it was starting out as rumored last week, but now it's starting to say that that Rob Zombie's ready to set filming this next month. There's not really much about the script that we know. One thing that we do know is at the end of Devil's Rejects that the Firefly family, Captain Spaulding and the other two, they were killed, and with the Freebird song at the end. So you're kind of wondering, like, how are they going to come back? And some of the ideas of what they're talking about is basically the idea is right in the title of Devil Rejects. They were too bad for even hell, so the devil rejected them, so they come back to life. I don't know how that's going to play. It's just a reason to get them back on screen and do another Devil's Rejects movie. And really, that was the best, probably, Rob Zombie film, I would say. I would say that even like the Halloween remake was okay. There's parts of Halloween remake I like, and Halloween 2, and there's parts that I don't like. What do you think?
I enjoyed Devil's Rejects. I didn't really get. I watched House of 1,000 Corpses one time. Probably was a little intoxicated when I watched it. Don't remember much, but Devil's Rejects.
We're always intoxicated.
Soundtrack was amazing. The cinematography was good. I enjoyed the story, and I think if he does it right with them being rejected from hell, the devil rejecting them, it could be a really good movie as long as it's done right.
Right.
He's had some hit or misses, especially with some of what's the Salem.
What's it called? What is it? I have it. Salem Witch something.
But that movie,
I don't know.
I
agree with that.
Yeah, that one, he missed bad on that mark. Well, I tried to watch it, and it felt like one of those just straight to DVD, not good movies.
Well, he's always trying to put his wife in the center of his movies, and I really think he needs to shy away from that. Now, I know that a lot of directors do this, like Mila Jovovich, with you know.
But she does it better than his wife.
Correct, correct.
At least she is a little bit better.
Yeah,
but
I don't really think that she is like the main focus. Like 31, actually, there was parts of 31 I liked. I don't know if you watched that film. That was his most recent with the clown. It was kind of like it was very sadistic. It was a very I don't know, it felt like a Hunger Games, but a horror version, but then they threw in some weird stuff as far as like there was a midget Hitler that was trying to kill them and stuff like that.
It's a horror version of Hunger Games sounds awesome.
Yeah, like, you're either a Rob Zombie fan or you're not. There's no in between here. As far as I do like some of his, I think this about Rob Zombie. I think he's great at world building. I think he's fantastic at like creating this world and this idea for a movie. But as far as characters, you hate all of them.
He strays.
You don't like them.
Then he strays on certain aspects of the story where it's like, you went a little too far on this.
Right.
Like, you could have toned back a little bit.
Yeah, he does. He tries to do that shock value stuff, and he does that real indie stuff too, like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like that grindhouse feel. which I think he would be perfect for like a remake of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. That might be right down his alley. But my thing is that a lot of his characters, including his wife, are never likable in his movies.
Well, bringing back Devil's Rejects, the sequel, if it does come out, has to have Captain Spaulding.
It has to. That's his moneymaker.
That is the main character.
Yeah.
Regardless of his wife or him wanting to put his wife, Captain Spaulding is
And
what
Bill
got
Moseley.
you invested.
Yeah.
Especially Devil's Rejects. You have to bring him back. I mean, you have to show the devil saying, I don't want you in my hell. Get the hell out, and show him waking up, digging his way out of the dirt or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or waking up right there on the pavement where he was shot.
Well, I mean...
And him taking out the cops.
Another way that they could do it is, if you think back to House of a Thousand Corpses, when they go down underneath the house, that's Devil's Rejects is a sequel to 1,000 Corpses, but it's kind of different. Wasn't there like a devil or like creatures that was like a hill or something that was underneath the House of a Thousand Corpses?
See, it's been so long since I watched it.
Maybe
I was kind of drunk when I watched it. I'm gonna have to rewatch it again, especially now them talking about this sequel coming out. I'm definitely gonna go back and watch House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil Rejects, and hoping that this does well.
Right.
Because I was one of them kids in high school. I loved Rob Zombie music.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I
hope
really
his
would.
movie career continues.
I know that it's very the audience is very divided on his take on the Halloween remake as well, and Halloween 2, just how far fetched Halloween 2 was, but with I know you either love that movie or you don't, and for me, I lean more towards the don't. There are aspects of the Halloween remake that I like. I just wish he really did not touch the project at all, because Halloween to me, I'm a big horror fan. I don't like my stuff being touched and tampered with.
When it comes with them, like Mike Myers, Jason, Freddy, it's very, you gotta ride that fine line.
Yeah.
To
please the fans. Yeah.
The original fans and gain new ones.
Right.
But once you deviate, you are going to.
Yeah. And I really think that's why Halloween, the remake, it didn't sit well with me, is because a lot of the characters in the movie weren't very likable either. Even the main protagonist, who played Lori, she was good. I thought she was good in the third act and everything, but there was the dialogue in Rob Zombie's movie, it's like he almost wants to be like a Quentin Tarantino with his dialogue, but he's not
as good.
He's not as good. But he's like very
You have to at least like somebody.
Right. He's very trashy with his dialogue. He's very...
Pick one or the other. You're either going to like the villain or you're going to like the people running from the villain. But you've got to like somebody. When you don't like either one, you can't get invested in that story.
Yeah. Like I said, I love some of the things that they did with the Halloween remake. Some of the takes they did. But honestly, with it going back as far as like Michael's... upbringing, like his childhood. I know some people like that. I don't need to know what Michael Myers...
I don't want to know his backstory.
Yeah, the same with Jason.
I want that to be a mystery. I don't care about the backstory. I just want to know...
I don't need to know what he ate for breakfast the morning of, and why he became psycho and stuff like that. Like, the mystery behind Michael Myers, he's just evil incarnated. He's not...
That's all I want to know.
Yeah, he's just a force to be reckoned with, and that's it. We don't need any explanation.
I don't need no backstory.
So I'm really
excited. I just want to see the screaming, the killing, the running. That's all I care about in those movies. It's a slasher.
Right.
I want to see slasher.
And don't do it goofy. Yeah. Don't do it cheesy, goofy. And somebody is at my door. What the hell? It was very random. So usually no one comes to my door during the day.
There's a gas man saying our house is going to explode. But
no.
We're good.
Rejects is where... basically what I want to get at. I think Rob Zombie shines at Devil's Rejects.
That's his best.
He needs to stay in this realm. I could see him do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a grindhouse feel.
Just don't mess it up.
Don't fuck it up. Keep Captain Spaulding. Don't give your wife less screen time. That's all I'm saying. I don't give a damn if you think she's sexy or not. the bitch can't act. I'm not trying. I'm not.
No, I totally
I'm not
agree.
trying to
You
say
can have fun in the bedroom with her, but you don't need to put her in your
right.
film.
Like what was that we were talking about? Mila Jovovich that was with
Three Musketeers, where she just got thrown in. It's
Yeah.
Three Musketeers. She's not.
yeah.
A
I don't know if
musketeer.
y'all
Why is
remember
she
this
in it?
film, but Paul W.S. Anderson, isn't that who makes it? Isn't that Paul W.S.? I think it is. Makes the Resident Evil films. And you know, she's Mila Jovovich. She's a badass, and she's a great actress. I'm not taking anything away from her. I don't really like the direction they went in with Resident Evil, but she's the main protagonist. And when they did a remake of, or a different tale of the Three Musketeers, and Orlando Bloom was in it, and then Luke Evans was in it. Yeah, that was one of his first, which I think it was when I started noticing him. But they gave so much screen time to Mila Jovovich because the director was Paul W.S. Anderson.
It took away from the title. It was Three Musketeers.
I was like,
it's not my wife, Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
Leave it on the people.
I could just imagine, like, behind the scenes, like her saying, like, hey, no, I need more screen time. No, give me a more badass role so I can kick ass.
Or she just gets freaky in the bed with him at night and he adds it. I mean,
Right.
but either way it goes, she
Right.
should have been cut back. That's
Yeah.
a supporting role, and you...
And that movie flopped.
You named the movie Three Musketeers, but you made it about her, not
Yeah.
about the Three Musketeers.
Right.
I mean, you effed up.
I still prefer the Three Musketeers that was made. It was Disney.
Chris O'Donnell?
Chris O'Donnell, Oliver
Mhm.
Platt, Kiefer Sutherland, and
Is John Malkovich?
Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Is it Martin Sheen?
Mm,
Charlie Sheen.
yeah.
Charlie Sheen. I still think that was probably. I remember watching that in the theater.
That was good. Yes.
We need a Blu-ray release of that,
Chris
by the way.
O'Donnell.
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell. That was when his prime and stuff like that, and then Batman and Robin with bat nipples. That kind of messed him up.
Now he's stuck on TV.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. The next topic is the New Mutants. It was just announced that it's going to be a PG-13 rating, and everybody was expecting that this was going to be like a horror X-Men type film that Fox was bringing out. But Disney is buying Fox, so everyone's thinking that the reason why the PG-13 rating is because of Disney buying it, because Disney doesn't want to produce a rated R film. And I understand that and everything. I wish they would reconsider that as far as like Deadpool, when Fox did Deadpool.
And Logan.
Logan worked great, but now everyone's concerned about Disney buying Fox and having these properties.
They better not mess with Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool was an amazing superhero film. Probably one of my favorites as far as the comedy aspect with the gore.
Yeah. And
you can't have Deadpool or Wolverine in PG or PG-13.
Right. I mean, Fox was actually taking a risk with some of these movies. Even with the Fantastic Four, the newer remake or whatever, there was parts of it I liked, but my audiences ripped it apart. They didn't like it at all.
I watched it and I enjoyed it.
But they took a more serious approach. And
I enjoyed the new Fantastic Four.
Stick?
Yeah, Fantastic Four. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know people ripped it apart and they didn't care for it, and it did deviate from the comics. They didn't go to an alternate universe. They were out in space. But for what the movie was, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Especially, I'm a fanboy of Miles Teller.
Yeah,
he is
Miles
a
Teller,
great actor.
Speaking of Miles Teller, there's a movie coming out this week, and it's a movie that I want to recommend to everybody. Only the Brave. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's about
you told me about
the firefighters, the hot shots. It's a true story.
I saw the trailer. I cannot wait to see it.
It is amazing. It was all shot IMAX, so it didn't get to every theater. I don't even think we got one here recently, close to Memphis. But maybe at Paradiso or something. But this movie was amazing, and I am buying it as soon as it hits Blu-ray. I really enjoyed it. And he has another one called "Thank You for Your Service" about PTSD after coming back from war. I haven't watched that film yet.
He's a very versatile actor. He can play anything.
Miles Teller, after Whiplash and stuff like that, he's just...
First thing I watched him on was that Dancing remake.
Footloose.
Footloose.
Yeah.
And
which
I
flopped.
thought he did... Yeah, but I for what
out.
it was, I enjoyed it, and he stood out on that.
Yeah.
His role, and that made me watch him.
And that was...
Any movie he was in after I saw him in that, I watched.
I was just having a discuss about this the other night with Craig Brewer, who directed that. He directed Hustle and Flow that was filmed here in Memphis. And when he did, they finally gave him, I think he did Black Snake Moan too, with Christina Ricci, Samuel L. Jackson, and Justin Timberlake. Well, then after both of the success for both of those movies, they decided to give him Footloose. to remake. Once he did that and it flopped and it did not get well received, it's like I couldn't tell you the next project he did after that. You know, it was just kind of like.
See, me and my wife enjoyed watching Footloose.
Yeah.
Like we liked the remake.
I've seen parts of it.
I don't break down most of it, but I mean, she's a huge Dancing with the Stars fan, so she loved Julianne Hough in it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Miles Teller's character, and that's what made me follow him.
Well, that was before I even knew who Miles Teller. Before he even had a household name. Like I didn't even know who he was at that time. So now that I know that he's in that, and I remember him vaguely, I want to go back and watch it.
No, he's a drunk redneck in that movie. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he plays the friend, right? That he's getting taught.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he teaches him how to dance.
Yeah, I need to watch that movie. I only watched like half of it.
It's not bad. It's pretty cool.
I've never even seen the original Footloose all the way through. So
I haven't either.
But yeah,
Kevin Bacon. Isn't it Kevin Bacon?
Yeah,
was in that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kevin
See,
Bacon.
I've never.
Yep.
I committed that sin of never watching that movie. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. Is like they're hoping that the New Mutants. Have you seen the trailer to the New Mutants?
No, I have not.
Oh man, you need to see it. It's got Anya Taylor-Joy in it. I think that's her name.
I just hope with Disney directing it now, Disney over Fox,
Yeah.
that they do not destroy the X-Men name as Fox has done.
Right.
Fox, the only good thing they have done with that X-Men name was Wolverine
Right.
and Deadpool.
Yep.
That's
Logan. I mean, Wolverine was the best part of X-Men anyways. That's what...
Yeah. They butchered the whole story. They
Yeah.
butchered it. I grew
It
up
went
an X-Men
here. I did like Days of Future Past. I didn't ever get through Apocalypse. I wasn't the biggest X-Men fan. I liked the first one. I
thought they were fixing it with Days of Futures Past and all those. I thought they were fixing it. I was like,
but it was more like they were ending it.
It's like you're going in the right direction. You're canceling out your previous F-ups and you're fixing it. But then you F it up again.
But it's still possible. They're still talking about that Hugh Jackman might reprise this role as Wolverine with the Deadpool combined movie.
That would be awesome.
With a crossover.
And now with Disney having control of these properties because they got Fox, I would love, I know it's probably not going to happen, love it, Wolverine is in one of the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
Wolverine being in there, some of the X-Men helping them, even if it's a cameo for 5 minutes. Having Wolverine with Iron Man would be the shit.
I think it would be a different character. I think Wolverine's going to get recast by that time because they're talking about don't expect X-Men in a Marvel film, like in an Avengers type film, anytime soon.
They need to at least keep Hugh Jackman, throw him in for a cameo.
I think they're going to do some standalone.
You change it, you add somebody else that's going to,
they might
it worked good for Spider-Man.
They might give him a cameo, but I don't think he would play the Wolverine character if they did give him a cameo. I think that they would already have it recast, and they would have already done a couple of X-Men films before they add them to the Avengers.
Even in the comics, you got Old Man Logan. He could be the Old Man Logan. But yeah, they did do well casting a new role with Spider-Man.
Right.
He did well.
He did do
So
good.
if they can do what they did with Spider-Man with Wolverine, then I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I'm down. But Hugh Jackman is hard to top on
there's that is a tough shoes to fill. I don't know who.
It's kind of like change Iron Man from Robert Downey Jr.
I think it's even tougher than changing Iron Man. I think because think about Hugh Jackman been doing it for 17, 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. I mean, that was one
of the first comic book movies that
big
brought
budget.
it back to the main line.
Yeah,
like
big
that brought it
blockbuster.
back. That showed us comic book movies are here to stay.
Right. It was
his role.
Right. It was definitely awesome. The gas guy, he had to come and change out my meter. That was random as hell. I don't know what the hell. But anyways, I know we're talking about Disney and buying Fox and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, that's the thing is we don't know if the New Mutants is going to be an R rating or a PG-13 rating.
I do have to say I'm very hopeful that now that Disney does have access to the Fox library, the X-Men, before they couldn't even use the term mutants in their movies. That's why Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch weren't mutants in the Avengers, is because Fox had the rights to the term mutants. That's why they had to make that's why they had to make that backstory of them being altered in some way.
Huh.
In the comics, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are Magneto's kids. And because Fox had those rights, they
Spoiler.
They had to change it for the Avengers movie.
Wow,
So,
I had no idea about that.
yeah, so hopefully now that they have those rights, they can incorporate this better.
Right.
And add in some, in the Avengers movies or even in the X-Men movies, add some cameos, mix it in. It's the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is that, like, with Infinity War going on, I really think a bunch of the Avengers are going to bite the dust. And I think they're going to do with the next phase. I think they're going to bring in the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, possibly, and stuff like that.
I think Robert Downey Jr. is about done.
I think he's going to bite the dust, man. Because if you look at that trailer, if you go back and watch that trailer that got released, I know everyone's talking about Captain America's going to die and Winter Soldier or Falcon's going to take over Captain America. I really think Iron Man's going to bite the dust. And this is the reason why. When you watch that trailer, you see Iron Man at the beginning of it. You see him get knocked the hell out by Thanos. And Thanos is supposed to be this big badass. And then whenever they're all having the big war, they're all running together, Iron Man is not with them running. And that's my reason why. And what more shocking way could you say Thanos is the most badass?
Then take out Iron Man.
Take out Iron Man. That would
your figurehead.
Yep.
I mean, it was Captain America and Iron Man are the figureheads. You take out one of them.
It's gonna suck, but it would be very effective.
Well, in the comic books, they've replaced both of them. I mean, Iron Man is now a young teenage girl that's a tech whiz.
What?
Yep.
I don't know nothing about comics.
And then you've got Captain America, who's been changed a couple of times, where Winter Soldier took over the Iron Man role, and now Falcon is taking over. They just recently brought back Steve Rogers as the original Captain America, but Falcon is also, as far as I know, was still Captain America. So the Captain America, they have changed to where it's not Steve Rogers, it can be multiple people.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that all the Avengers die in the comics. And with Infinity War. I know it's going to be a 2-part movie.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure some people will bite the dust in this one and bite the dust in that one.
Yeah, it's going to anger some fans, but that's a way to bring it home. That's a way to change. If somebody's done with their contract or somebody's done with this role, that's a way to make a new person into that role.
Honestly, I think it's Iron Man's time. I think it's Iron Man's time because
even if he leaves, they're still going to have an Iron Man or a War Machine. They're going to have somebody in that metal suit. He's not gone, just Robert Downey Jr.
Right. I would hate to see Cap go because, like, I think Captain America has the better standalone films.
Yes.
Civil War is probably one of my favorite Marvel Universe films.
Oh, it's probably the best.
Yeah. And it's basically an Avengers movie. It just doesn't have a Thor or the Hulk. And then you got them in Thor Ragnarok, which was the best Thor film.
Yes,
I mean, they're hitting it home recently.
That had definitely, to me, had a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe.
And you see in this one, you see Thor meet Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think they're going to come in near the end of the film.
I love Chris Pratt.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's gold. Everything he touches.
Which brings us to...
I think, yeah. But what I want to touch on is that I think that's going to be near the end of the film, and I think
it's going to be a cameo.
Guardians of the Galaxy is going to have more of a predominant role in the second part.
Infinity War Part 2, that's going to have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep. I'll cut it up. All right. Well, we got to take a shot break. What'd you just pour me?
Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort? I haven't had this since I was 19.
It's going to have a little bit of a Jaeger taste because it was left in the shot glass.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Damn. I could drink that just over ice or something.
Oh, Southern Comfort's good.
I haven't had it in forever. I always pictured, I don't know, Larry the Cable Guy drinking it or something. Not my style.
No, it's pretty good.
Anyways.
It's a little sweet.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. So
wrap up the Disney thing.
Yeah. Where were we at? We're at Avengers Infinity War 2. So, in Avengers Infinity War 2, I really think that, like, Chris Pratt, I think the Guardians of the Galaxy is going to come in near the end, and they're going to have a more predominant role in the second film.
Part 2.
Yep. And then whenever they get done with Thanos, which I got to talk about this for a second. Josh Brolin is playing Thanos. Josh Brolin's my boy. He's also in Only the Brave with Miles Teller. Terrific performance. Everything this guy touches is gold, dude. He was in Sicario.
Well, you can tell that this role is long in development because he's even shown up just for a few minutes in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. He has shown up at the end of another movie. Like, he has had this role for years.
Right.
This is years in development.
Right. And I really think that you need someone like Josh Brolin because, I mean, dude, this guy, he kills it every time he's on screen. He's a great dramatic actor. Even that Men in Black 3 sucked. He did a great portrayal.
He did really good. And what was the remake? The one that they did that was a Japanese remake? Old Boy.
Yep.
I actually liked that movie with him in it. I know people hated on him because it wasn't the original. You can't necessarily be the original, especially when you're adapting it from an Eastern audience to a Western audience. I think he did really good.
Right.
That was, to me, I liked that movie.
Josh Brolin's my boy, man. I think he's awesome. I can't wait to see the second
Even
Sicario.
Back from the Goonies.
The Goonies, the older brother, man. I mean,
first time I ever seen him was the Goonies.
Yeah. And did you also know he was in the Mimic? You remember the movie Mimic with Mila? No, not Mila. Myra Servini. Charles S. Dutton about the cockroaches.
Yes, yeah, I know what it is, but I never watched it.
Oh man, it was a good little sci-fi horror.
Because I know they made a bunch of little B-movie like Sci-Fi Channel style stuff off of Mimic.
Yeah, it was really cool because Josh Brolin was like a side character. He's like I think he was part of the scientists or a friend of the scientists. I can't really remember. And he had some comedic performance in it. But I just remember thinking like when he died in that movie. Spoiler alert. It really hit me hard because I was like, man, that's the older brother from the Goonies, man.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up watching him, and then he dies in this movie.
And to me, his big breakout role currently was No Country for Old Men. That's what brought him back into the limelight.
Yeah, that put him on the map. I wish that had a better ending. Still a terrific movie.
Movie was awesome all the way to the end.
Yep.
Just pause it right in the last 10 minutes.
It's
you'll like it.
Yeah. Give Tommy. That's crazy because Tommy Lee Jones is in that. And then he portrays Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black 3 after that. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Maybe he sat down and talked to him and said, hey, they want me to do this role, and let me get some of your mannerisms down. All right, talking about Chris Pratt and Guardians of the Galaxy and everything, we're going to move on to Jurassic World 2, The Fallen Kingdom, where it's really just Jurassic World, The Fallen Kingdom. But it's a follow-up of the Jurassic World movie that came out. I was a big fan of it. I liked it.
I loved it.
It was a breath of fresh air. I thought that
I like that they acknowledged the first movies without relying on them.
Right.
They started their own thing, but still acknowledged what came before.
And they had fun with it too.
Yes.
But they didn't do too goofy like Jurassic Park 3 did. There are certain things in Jurassic Park 3 I did not agree with. I was like, what? Like the Velociraptor talking on the plane to Sam Neill, Dr. Grant.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this? And so. I thought they had the tone down perfectly. It was exactly what I want to see.
Another Disney movie.
Yep.
I mean, they're Disney's hitting it out of the park right now.
Yep. And with one thing I did want to say about Jurassic World was they kept saying, what was it? What was the
Indominus Rex?
Indominus Rex. When it released, it said it's headed straight for the park. But it never made it to the park to the very end when everyone else evacuated. I wanted to see that thing rampage through the park and
with people around.
Yeah, and like tearing them up. But we got a pterodactyl scene instead, picking people off, which was cool. I'm not taking away from it.
I would like to see a little bit more of a darker, grittier few scenes in this next one. You don't have to go rated R version, but you can show some kind of chaos, some kind of
seriousness.
Yeah.
And when I first saw the trailer to Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom, have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did watch it.
They say everything that you see in Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom is the first hour of the film. So the second part of the film, I'm assuming.
Do not spoil me trailers. I get tired of trailers showing me the ending of the movie.
And come the Super Bowl, we don't know if we're going to get another trailer. I'm pretty sure before this movie drops, we're going to get a couple more trailers.
But leave the last part out.
My theory is that they're having to go back to the island to save save some dinosaurs because there's a volcano erupting.
Yeah,
right?
that's what they show in the trailer.
Yeah, Fallen
Volcano's
Kingdom.
erupting and it's about to destroy all the dinosaurs.
And the way they get Chris Pratt on the island is because of Blue.
Yep, save his Velociraptor.
Yeah. So they're gonna have that. They're gonna have all that going on. They're gonna, and then I think it's gonna take a Noah's Ark approach with that, with all like how like one dinosaur of each species.
In the Jurassic Park 1 through 3, didn't they end up incorporating? There was another island.
Yeah.
So there ended up being 2 islands with dinosaurs.
Right.
So this could be one of those islands is having a volcano, and they might have to transport those dinosaurs to the second island.
I mean, they
to
could
save them.
Who knows? They're hiding it from us. They're hiding the second part of the
And
movie
who
from
knows
us.
about the company that's over it? They could be doing some shady dealings, trying to, a Lost World Jurassic Park, trying to bring them back to the U.S.
And what was it, Dr.
Wong
Wong or whatever that left the island at the end? He was also in the original Jurassic Park, the Asian guy. But he's supposed to be like the main baddie or whatever. I don't know if he's going to be in this. I don't think I noticed him. I don't know if he's on the billing cast or anything like that. But I don't think I noticed him in the trailer. But I know a lot of people thought they were going to take the approach of, because they kept saying in Jurassic World, the weaponry, the government using dinosaurs as weaponry and war and stuff like that, and everyone thought they were going to do that.
What was the other guy's name? Vince?
Huh? Vince D'Onofrio?
Yeah.
Yeah, great actor.
He was talking about...
Right.
His role was about taking the dinosaurs and applying them to government weapons.
Mm-hmm.
If we could train these, he saw Chris Pratt training Blue. Well, with your training, we could equip these dinosaurs, and they could do our work for us.
Right.
We could send them into the terrorist place, and they could just tear them up.
Right. Yeah.
But then he gets his hand bitten off, and
yeah, he gets fucked up. But yeah. I mean, he did his part in that movie. I thought that was really good.
He's a very gifted actor.
I think Chris Pratt was like perfectly casted. I really enjoy that movie. That's a movie that I could probably watch over and over and over. I'm not saying it's like a masterpiece or anything, or it even touches the original. I'm just saying that it was fun.
It's very
easy to
enjoyable,
watch.
Yes,
it's very easy to watch.
Well, almost anything Chris Pratt touches right now.
He's just a likable guy. He's awesome.
Even Passengers. I watched that again last
I
night.
liked
And even
Passengers.
I enjoyed.
I did too.
I wanted to watch it again because of him.
I didn't know why it got so much hate. I mean, I understand that like everyone was saying that Chris Pratt was a piece of shit because he actually was selfish and picked and like woke her up and everything and took her life away from him. But I was like, it goes over that. Like, I would understand, like, you're going to be lonely for the rest of life.
Yeah, if you're in that same position.
And the bottom line, let me just say this, and I learned this in psychology a long time ago. Nothing is more important than yourself. Not your spouse, not God, not your family, not anything. When it comes down to it, it is known that yourself, your well-being, is more important than anything else on this earth. So that's what was going on in Chris Pratt's head in that movie. Maybe
he almost killed himself.
Yeah.
I mean, that was she was his saving grace. But I mean, that's an old movie. But I mean, it's
right.
Just anything he touches to me is gold. No. If I see Chris Pratt's name in it, even if it's a cameo, I'm gonna watch that movie.
Yeah.
Because I know he is a great actor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can relate to him.
Yeah.
And he does.
He owns a role.
Does a trance. He puts me in a trance to where I just
want to watch. He does play a Chris Pratt role. Like he does play. I would like to see.
Every role is the same.
Right, and right now it's good for blockbusters. It's good for certain movies right now. It would be great for Indiana Jones.
Yes.
We'll get on that in a minute. But I think that in the long run, when this steam runs out, he needs to do something dramatic.
Yes,
he needs to step out of his.
He needs to have something with some, like you said, some dramatic scenes, something serious, some heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching.
Do some Daniel Day-Lewis shit.
That just shows
Leonardo DiCaprio.
His acting capability, because right now he's just a smartass.
Right.
It's all.
Right.
Every movie he's a smartass.
Right, and he would be perfect for like a Nathan Drake for Uncharted movie or something like that. I know they talked about that. That's not ever been picked up. I know we got the Tomb Raider movie coming out, which would be good. But we're gonna go on to the next topic. Since we touched on Indiana Jones, it finally got announced that Indiana Jones 5 is getting announced. It's actually going to be. It's set to release in 2020. Steven Spielberg is on board to direct, and Harrison Ford is reprising his role as Indiana Jones.
See, this is the first I've heard of that, and honestly, that kind of upsets me a little bit. I was hoping they would have rebooted the franchise, picked someone like Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper, somebody that can kind of handle that smart-ass edge to it, while still being action-oriented, and rebooted the franchise. I mean, like they did Tomb Raider with the video games. You rebooted it. You made it darker. You made it grittier. You've totally made a new thing from something.
But we don't know if that's good yet.
Yeah, I was hoping they would have rebooted this franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wanted it to be rebooted as well, because, I mean, there's only so much. You can't see Harrison Ford swinging from branches and you know,
what, in the 70s?
Yeah, and climbing shit and doing all this kind of action. I mean, he could do a little bit. I mean, but he's very limited to what he can do without CGI or stunt double or something like that.
And Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, they've already tried to pass the torch on.
They CGI'd the shit out of that movie
with Shia LaBeouf, and it didn't work.
Right.
Like, I mean,
honestly, I think that movie gets more hate than it deserves. I think there is enjoyment.
I enjoyed it.
There's enjoyment in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Don't get me wrong, but there's also things that should have been edited out that would have made it a better film. There's certain things that happen in the film. Everyone talks about it. The swinging with the monkeys thing. Cut that shit out. Reshoot that. Something like that.
I enjoyed it. It took me forever to watch it. It was years after it came out.
I think I talked you into watching it.
And I enjoyed it, but the whole passing the torch, like they were trying to pass the torch on from Harrison Ford to Shia LaBeouf.
They were trying to get a young Indy.
So are they trying it again? I mean, they're bringing Harrison Ford back in. Are they going to try for him to pass the torch again? It didn't work the first time.
I really don't know if they're going to take a Han Solo approach. Like, are they going to kill Indy off in some heroic manner?
And then the new person comes in?
Or are they just going to reboot the whole franchise after this one? Or are they going to pass the torch on to somebody else?
I wish they would just reboot it.
They can't do it with Shia LaBeouf.
Or do like they did in the old Indiana Joneses, where Sean Connery was Harrison Ford's dad. Like, I mean, I know they tried that with Shia LaBeouf, but kind of do that same thing. Like, bring a new one in, have Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper, and then just have a cameo with I just had a brain fart. Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Have Harrison Ford come in like a cameo, like.
My question is,
with Sean Connery, like, have him in the Sean Connery role.
And no, I was seeing this, and like someone brought up this subject that in The Last Crusader, and The Last Crusades, what's it called? Last Crusade. Didn't Indiana Jones drink the...
Yes, he drank from the Holy Grail, which was supposed to have gave him eternal life.
Okay, but is that... I've been seeing this argument online that, was it just because of right there, you have to be within that proximity of that area?
See,
or is this
I thought it was anywhere. So, I mean, that kind of contradicts some of the stuff. I mean, are they going to go all CGI and make him young again? I mean...
Don't do any more nuclear warheads with him in a refrigerator.
Yes.
Don't do that bullshit.
You're an antique 50s refrigerator, and that saves you from a nuclear warhead. No.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he did, yes.
You know what that reminded me of? When I watched...
Because the dude drank from it, and his skin, I mean, he turned old, melted, and turned into a skeleton.
Yeah.
And then the other girl wanted it so bad that she died.
They went too sci-fi with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Well, you had the Ark of the Covenant, too.
I saw a little bit...
It melted off when they opened
I saw a little bit of, like, The Mummy Returns with the whole pyramid and all the shit going on and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this kind of reminds me of The Mummy Returns with Brendan Fraser. Kind of like the ending of that.
Which one?
The one where they're at the pyramid and the whole forest is getting swiped up and sucked into the pyramid. You remember that scene? The second Brendan Fraser movie. When I saw Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I got feelings of that.
Yes. They were trying to rip off that. Because they even tried to rip off some of that comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
And Cate Blanchett, she's a great actress, but I don't think she was right for that antagonist role where she was the bad guy. Mm-hmm. You know, the ant scene and stuff like that. Honestly, I kind of like the ant scene. I'm not gonna lie, but everything else, I thought it started off great. Besides the whole nuclear
With
war.
Indiana Jones, I think it needed a hard reboot. It just needed a new person in that Indiana Jones role.
Some people might hate me by saying this. I do like The Last Crusade. I do like the original, but I love Temple of Doom. I know it's a little bit darker. I know it's like ripping out hearts.
Yeah.
That movie would have been PG-13 or R if it was made today. But
right now it
back then they
ripped a dude's heart out.
Right.
That was an R.
Yeah.
Like right now that would be an R.
But
I
they
just
didn't
ripped your heart out and it's beating in my hand.
Back then they didn't have PG-13 ratings. They only had PG and then it jumped to R and NC-17 and stuff like that. So that's why it was PG. I was like, whoa, this is kind of intense for
I would call it almost an R. With ripping a heart out, blood, and then you also cracking open a monkey head and you're eating monkey brains. I mean...
Right.
But yes, that was a really good movie.
Right, yeah.
Them guys falling down into the alligators. I mean, that is...
What was his
epic.
name? The Asian kid? He's from the Goonies, and he was in that. Okie dokie, Dr. Jones. He got the boxes on his feet and stuff. Man, I mean, just the chemistry between the main characters was perfect, and I thought it was awesome.
I just felt like with this last one, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, they try to put Shia LaBeouf in that character's role.
They were trying to work off of... Shia LaBeouf's a great actor. I know he's crazy. I know everyone says that he's lost his shit. But they were trying to play
the downfall
off...
of Transformers was taking him away.
Right.
Well,
that's the thing. They were playing off the Transformers big time because that was the big blockbuster
But it's
movie.
like they took where Indiana Jones was with that young kid, and they just kind of took it and morphed it to where it was him and Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
But they took that same story aspect and just replaced Shia LaBeouf and the Asian kid. Like, they just... Boom. There's... Shia LaBeouf.
And that third act of
Greaser, and he's
in that third act of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I feel like it got too Disney. I felt like Disney was straight up making this movie. It just got too CGI, too Disney, too goofy.
But now Disney now, Jurassic World,
learn from your mistakes.
The Avengers. I mean, you've done these movies. You've been epic. You have. I mean, even with the Star Wars, you have done great. Do Indiana Jones right. Right. Make it a franchise that my kids will be watching with their kids. I want to be able to show, well, you just saw the new Indiana Jones. You loved it. Let's watch the old ones I grew up with.
I would love to see, this is me. What I would like to see with Indiana Jones is, because I don't want the franchise to end. I love Indiana Jones. I love it. Harrison Ford can't do it forever. He's turning 77.
My two choices, Chris Pratt, Bradley Cooper.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, at the end of Indiana Jones 5, let's say that this is the last Indiana Jones that Harrison Ford will ever be in, okay? Because he gets hurt on set quite often. Who says he won't get hurt on something like this?
I don't want them to kill him off. Just
like
let
Han
him
Solo
retire.
in The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Put him in Sean Connery's role.
Yeah.
Where it was Sean Connery and Harrison Ford. Make him Sean Connery. Like, just put him in that supporting role, or make him like he's retired. He's doing something, but don't kill him. Don't kill him.
I would like to see something similar to this, because if they want to keep the franchise going, I think that with Indiana Jones 5, if they're going to end up killing him off, or they're going to get rid of Harrison Ford playing Indiana, and they want to reboot this, or they want to take it in a new direction, they say they want to go back to young Indy, maybe near somewhere like the end of Indiana Jones 5, like either he dies or he doesn't die. Maybe it's not, maybe it's not said or shown on screen, but maybe someone's reading like Indiana Jones's diary or something, and it's telling the old tales of when he was younger. And then then the next movie we get a younger cast member to keep this franchise going and reboot it in a way.
Because I know Chris Pratt's name is thrown in a lot with Indiana Jones.
Right.
That was one that was thrown in a lot. He's the next Indiana right after Jurassic World came out.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Chris Pratt. I think he would be great in that role.
Yeah.
My top choice, Bradley Cooper. I think he hasn't been in anything too well. He hasn't been in anything for a little bit.
He's good.
But he's got that good smart-ass character. He's got the muscle build. When he does something on screen, you could believe it, because he's not
He's
overweight.
good.
He's fit.
He's good. He's good. I mean...
A-Team. I mean, right there. He was,
it was okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed his character.
Right.
He was my favorite character in that movie.
Right. I need to rewatch that movie, because I know that
It wasn't the greatest movie.
No,
But
okay.
it was enjoyable.
Right.
But
Right.
his character, I mean, Bradley Cooper can do, Hangover.
Right.
Do that. What was the other one where he takes the pill?
Limitless.
Limitless.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a wide
He's a very
berth.
versatile. He's good at drama. He's good at comedy.
Yeah.
He's good
Yeah,
at.
he's got a wide berth of
He could be
stuff.
good at action. What was that? What was that one movie? Not just
I
Limitless.
mean, I could see him with Indiana Jones's hat on his head. Like he
No,
could-
it wasn't him. It was Ryan Reynolds that he was in. It was kind of like Limitless.
See, Ryan Reynolds, I think, could probably do good, but I just can't picture him with Indiana Jones gear on.
Yeah.
But I love Ryan Reynolds. He's one of
Yeah.
my favorite actors. He is
Yeah.
a great actor.
We're gonna have someone. I mean, because Harrison Ford is a tough shoes to fill because that guy has been a movie star
Yeah, and
since.
one Disney's already got it.
Movie star's been movie star. Well, I wouldn't say that, but
They've already got it in with Chris Pratt because he's already in the Jurassic
Right.
World and Guardians of the Galaxy. So I mean, it's common sense to we've already got
But
contracts.
I could
with
see-
you, we'll pay you more to do this.
I could see Chris Pratt more in a role like Nathan Drake on Uncharted if they ever
Yes.
did that, more than I could in Indiana Jones because Indiana Jones' character is different than Nathan Drake
Yep.
a little bit better.
And like I said, I would pick Bradley Cooper.
Right.
Like Bradley Cooper
Yeah.
to me would be an awesome.
Switch it up. One of them take the Uncharted movies,
Yep.
and
'Cause
the
they're
other one
so
takes
similar.
Indiana Jones. Yeah, they're similar. And it's all really going to be based on the reboot of Tomb Raider to see
Yeah,
if
we
that's
got
going to
that
be
one
successful.
coming out.
Yeah.
We got that one coming out very soon.
And
And
I-
that first trailer, I did not like. That first trailer
It
made
was
me
kinda-
think it was a straight B movie. It was. It should have been a straight to DVD.
Yeah.
But this new trailer kind of has my hopes up a little bit.
Yeah.
They released that second trailer and it makes me feel better. It looks,
Or they watched the first trailer and they were like, "Hey, we need to redo this
Yes.
trailer and make it look
This
more
second trailer
presentable."
looks just like the new games.
Yeah.
Like it is a reboot.
It is.
She is based off the new.
Well, that was
games,
announced.
and that is
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like no more Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
No more big boobies. No more give me somebody real. Give
What's
me.
wrong with big boobies? I'm just kidding.
Well, I just want some realistic movies.
I got you.
But I want that dark, gritty feel that we got from the new games.
Right.
I want her to be like a female.
One of the
Talking
best
about
games I
Indiana
ever played.
Jones, like a female Indiana Jones. And I know some people are torn in the middle. I hope this doesn't have that supernatural stuff in the movie. Or some people are like, I hope it does.
What I keep
If it's done right, I hope they do it. I hope they do it right with the supernatural stuff.
forgetting about is that Walton Goggins is the villain in the new Tomb Raider movie. And Walton Goggins is a great actor. He was in Vice Principals. He was in The Hateful Eight. He was in, what's that movie? I think he was in American Ultra as one of the
See, I
crazy
haven't
guys.
watched that yet. I wanted to watch that.
He's just a great actor. He's one of my favorite actors. Anything that he's in, I'm going to watch. So hope for Tomb Raider that's a success, and Indiana Jones 5 is a success, and
I'm
then
gonna
we
watch
can
Tomb
move
Raider
on.
regardless because it's based on video games.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
And we
watch
need
it.
a good video game
Yes.
adaptation.
Yes.
Period. Let this one be the one. Because what's her name?
Please.
The girl from Ex Machina is playing Lara Croft. So, all right. Well, that's it for that. Moving on. This was just announced that what Han Solo?
Yeah, and we didn't go over that yet.
Oh, we didn't? We skipped over that?
Yeah, we skipped from one to the other.
Oh, I thought we talked about
no.
that. Okay, well, I mean, real quick, the Han Solo trailer is rumored to debut during the Super Bowl, and this movie has been through several reshoots. Got a new director.
Mm-hmm.
We got what's his name, Ron Howard on it now,
Yep.
and terrific director. But
every time I see something on it, it's some change in the upper level of that movie.
and we're supposed to get it in May,
left.
right?
Yes, it's supposed to be this year.
It's supposed to be early this year, like the
But
first
you've
half.
done changed so many people. Like, I mean, you just recently announced you've got the new director. Like, how are you coming out with this movie and it's going to be good?
But on the same note, Rogue One went through like 75% of reshoots, and I enjoyed it for what it was.
I still have yet to finish it.
Everyone's gonna go see the Han Solo movie. So that's basically what we're getting. We're getting a prequel. We're getting The Force Awakens, the main trilogy. Then we're getting a prequel. Then we're getting The Last Jedi. Then we're getting a prequel, and it's going back and forth. And they're gonna milk Star Wars to
It's
what
Disney.
it's worth.
I mean, look
Yeah.
what they did with Marvel.
So.
All right, we'll pause for 1 second. Be back.
All right, so Yeah, Indiana Jones 5. I don't know if that's going to be the original title. I doubt it will be. It'll be Indiana Jones something. But Steven Spielberg is directing it. It's officially being set to release year 2020. Don't have an official release date, but it's set to come out in 2020. So, next thing, with Stephen King movies that are on the rise, everything's getting picked up. All his novels, everything with the success of the new It film, everything. You got 1922 on Netflix. You got Gerald's Game, which was terrific. If you haven't
watched that
oh,
yet.
you gotta watch it, man.
Watch it.
It's amazing.
Was it the 11/22/63?
Was it 1420? What are you talking about? When John Cusack?
No, the James Franco, Amazon Prime, that series
Oh.
11/22/63, based off the JFK stuff.
That was before it came out.
Yeah.
11/22/63.
That's
It was
I read that book. That is
from
an
Stephen King
amazing
and
book.
J.J. Abrams. This film, I've only watched like maybe 6 episodes. I think there's like 8 or 10 or something like that.
The book's awesome. I read the book.
Very well made. This is like movie quality. Check this out. It should be on Amazon Prime. You can definitely buy it on Blu-ray or DVD. Check this out. I'm glad you just reminded me of it because I'm gonna go back and watch it because I haven't finished it.
Yeah, that's Stephen King right there.
And this was before the It came out. This should have came out on Netflix and it would have got more hype.
Yep, yeah, over Amazon Prime. Because even
Yeah.
when I had the Amazon Prime account, it still wanted me to pay to watch it, even with the Amazon Prime account. It was like $2 an episode. I'm
Great Stephen King story.
like, another one that people didn't care for that I really loved was Dark Tower. I enjoyed Dark Tower. Idris Elba is a great actor.
That he is. That he
Matthew
is.
McConaughey, great actor, and I
Both of
enjoyed
them.
it. I know a lot of people did not like it. I know you're one of the ones that didn't care for it, but I enjoyed it.
I just thought poor execution. I thought it could have been a better movie. It could have been. It's another PG-13 movie that should have been rated R. I don't know much about the source material.
If they would have taken a
But
little
I
bit
know
dark,
when-
it's Stephen King. I mean, it is a little supernatural and it goes into that sci-fi stuff, but he's got the whole Dark Tower series. Like, there's a series of books that should have been rated
Right.
R, and it would have added more to that movie. But
Right.
I enjoyed what it was.
And Matthew McConaughey playing the Man in Black should have been epic.
I just hate that it didn't do so well, so they're probably not going to do a sequel.
No, it'll probably get rebooted. And they're talking about a TV series, actually. They're talking about a TV series. I don't know who's going to pick it up.
Like, when
Yeah.
they send out to the TV series, we're sending you out to die. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure later on down the road it'll get rebooted and probably rebooted right this time because all the fans, all the
The
backlash.
one TV show, off subject, but one TV show I am hyped for, and I don't know when it's coming out, but I know they're in talks, is The Continental.
I don't know.
It is a spin-off of John Wick.
Is
They're
that Stephen King?
No.
Oh.
It's off subject. We're talking about movies to TV.
Okay, I got you.
They're in talks with a John Wick TV spin-off of The Continental
Right.
Hotel.
Okay, I have heard of it. Yeah.
And that has me kind of excited.
Yeah, I got you. Well, this film is called Doctor Sleep. It's a sequel to The Shining, but not the film, not the Stanley Kubrick film with Jack Nicholson in it. It's the book. I have not read the book.
I have seen it in
Okay.
the store.
Okay.
I've seen it.
I didn't know. I've seen the book too, but I did not know it was a sequel to The Shining. And this film is basically, it's going to be directed by Mike Flanagan. He's been on the rise right now. He's done a Ouija 2, Origin of Evil.
How was that one?
That was a lot better than the original. I mean,
First one was not.
no, the first one was garbage. But the second one, it was actually pretty decent. Same thing with Annabelle. The first one was garbage. Annabelle Creation, decent.
So those are two
I
still
thought
wanna
Annabelle
watch.
Creation was a little bit boring to me. It took me like 3 viewings to kind of finish it, but I did appreciate it, of where it was going and the direction that it took. It was good. It was good. It was decent. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again, but I do have it in my collection. Anyways, he also did Gerald's Game, Stephen King adaptation.
I've been putting it off because just with family time and stuff, we haven't had time to sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah. Well, it's not a family movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We with the kids around, we haven't had time to sit down with the kids in bed to watch it. But I want to see that movie.
Really good movie. And there's a and I'm shouting out Found Flicks right now. They have a ending explain on that film, and It's really good. If you get kind of confused with the ending and everything, go to Foundflix, subscribe to his channel. He does terrific work. Really admire what you do, dude. And yeah, so Gerald's Game, you have to check out. Netflix. It's free, man. You got Netflix.
Yes.
You know what? Well, it ain't free, but you know what I'm saying. He also did Oculus, 2013 Oculus. A lot of people, that's really what kind of put him on the map to be in the horror genre, because the success of that movie, it got really good, I guess, like, well received by fans and horror fans and stuff. I watched Oculus when it first came out. I was not the biggest fan. I was kind of like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing here, but it just didn't work for me. It wasn't my type of horror movie.
Is that the one with the mirror?
The mirror, yep, yep.
Yeah. Me and the wife did not care for that one.
Yeah, see, I didn't either, but everybody was praising it, so that's why I checked it out, and I was like, and it had Rory, what's his name? Rory something, the guy that was in...
The main kid?
No, the dad in that movie. He was the hippie dude in Dazed and Confused.
Oh.
Remember?
Yeah.
You know the guy I'm talking about? Yeah. I mean, he looks totally different now. And he was also in Empire Records. He was the guy on the couch. He was the main character in that movie. So, like, I loved his work and stuff like that. We all get old. So, we can only play teenagers for so long in movies.
Yeah.
So, but one film that is on Netflix that I doubt you've seen it. Hush. Have you seen Hush?
No, I've seen it.
Terrific horror movie, suspense movie, more home invasion type film.
Yeah, I've seen it on my feed. Like when I pull up Netflix, I've seen it. But it's one of those things that I know the wife's gonna be, my wife's gonna be wanting to watch it. And it's one of those things where you don't want to watch it without them because then they get mad. Yeah. But you can't watch it with the kids around. Like you gotta find the time. Yeah, you gotta find that sweet spot. Yeah. Sweet spot to watch those movies.
Oh, we're alone, honey. Let's watch this.
Yeah.
You know. I understand that. I deal with that at home too. A lot of times I gotta watch movies without my wife because either she does not like the horror genre, which that's my favorite genre, or
she don't like
got kids around.
She don't like the over the top action.
Right.
Either. So
yeah. If the action is too goofy
your
or
wife
something,
is very picky on movies.
Yes, she is. If it's not realistic, she 9 times out of 10 does not like it. But Hush is a fantastic movie. The protagonist is a mute girl. She's not deaf. I think she can hear, but she can't talk. And she's alone. And she's being hunted, and it's how she's going to come out of this situation. And I think that the movie reveals the killer, which is not really a whodunit. At first, you kind of think that it's not really a whodunit, because the killer shows his face halfway through the movie. But it's still a fight for survival type movie that's really fun to watch, especially with the protagonist with being mute. Another Mike Flanagan movie just got added to Netflix is Before I Wake. It's got what's his name, Thomas Jane, and Kate Bosworth. They're a married couple. This movie was shelved. I don't know what was going on with the production of this movie.
Before I Wake.
Yeah, Before I Wake. It's on Netflix now. Netflix finally picked it up. And I saw the poster at the theater a long time ago, and I saw the trailer, and I was seeing it on movies, and I was like, waiting for this movie to come out. I was like, oh, this looks interesting. Thomas Jane's, honestly, probably anything he's in, I'm probably going to watch because I really enjoy his performance. Yeah. And he does, like, The Mist or Dreamcatcher. He does some Stephen King stuff.
The first Punisher movie. He was Punisher.
He was great as Punisher. I thought. I loved it. Thomas Jane's just a really good actor. He does play Thomas Jane in every movie almost.
So what's this movie about?
It's basically about a married couple. Him and Kate Bosworth. They lose a son. I think the backstory is they lose a son. They decide to adopt a son, another kid from the orphanage, and he starts having certain dreams or something, and they start seeing visions of their son that died. And it's supposed to be like a fantasy horror. But at Foundflix, another shout out to Foundflix. They just recently did a ending explained, and it made me understand the movie more. But I really don't want to give too much away. Just know that it's got some creepy elements.
Worth watching.
It's a supernatural type film, and it's got like at first when I first saw the trailer, I thought it was going to take like an Omen approach. You know, the little kid being the devil or something like that. I thought that's the approach they took, but they really took it in an interesting way. And it was really well done the way it was made.
Would you consider it a must-watch, in your opinion?
To support Mike Flanagan and support this movie, I say yes.
But not with kids.
No. No, I wouldn't say with kids. I wouldn't say with
But
kids.
now let's look
Might
at
scare
Thomas Jane, the other one. We're talking about Stephen King. Now we're talking about Thomas Jane.
He did good in the
Their
movie.
collaboration.
Yeah.
In 1922.
1922 on Netflix.
How was
Fantastic.
that?
Very good. Very, especially the first half. I was very invested in the first half of the movie. Very great.
I cannot wait to watch that movie, but it's
good.
another aspect. I can't watch it with kids around, but I want to see it.
The second half of the film kind of drags just a little bit. It does have horror elements, but it more focuses on the guilt after you
Kind
do
of
something.
Character development type thing.
Yeah, it's very character driven. And Thomas Jane probably gives his best performance he's ever given in a film ever. I mean, just the way he presents this guy. A lot of times, you might have to even like put on the subtitles or something because he's so
with his accent and stuff.
country in the film. His country accent. It kind of like I was like, what did he just say? But he's playing the role like to a T.
Reminds me of like a guy we work with.
Yes. Yeah. We ain't gonna throw no names out there.
Nope.
But yeah. So Doctor Sleep is a sequel to The Shining coming out. Not much details. Michael Flanagan supposedly is set to direct it, and it's a sequel to the book, not the Stanley Kubrick film. And I heard the original Shining book is totally different than the vision that Stanley Kubrick made for the movie. So I don't know if they're going to show any homages, if they're going to kind of mix match it up. It's a very touchy subject to make this sequel because it's supposed to be Danny, the little boy in the original Shining, him grown up.
Red rum.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, Mike Flanagan is killing it right now in the horror genre. He's making shitty movies and making awesome sequels. You know what I'm saying? He's already taken it to the next level. So he obviously knows what he's doing.
All right. Well, you went and watched a new little release here at the movie theater the other day.
Yep.
How did that go? What was that about?
There is this, and I can't say too much about this film because we were told not to. So I'm
NDA disclosure.
Yep.
We can just tell you what we have wikied and what we know about the history of this movie.
Right. I was fortunate enough to see a test screening of this new film called Brian Banks that was filmed here in Memphis. It's set in LA, but it was filmed here in Memphis, and it stars Morgan Freeman's in it, Greg Kinnear is in it, among others. But basically the story, I'll just give you a little quick rundown. I'm not going to give away too much plot details, but it's basically about a high school football player that was falsely accused of rape, and he did some jail time for it, some prison time, and it shows that he went through all that, and when he got out of prison, he couldn't get a job, he couldn't get back in the NFL, he couldn't do anything. It kind of ruined his life.
To prove his innocence, to get his life back, to prove his innocence, to prove he'd been done wrong.
Right.
I have not seen the movie. He was privileged enough to go see it. I just know what I watched on what I seen on Wikipedia, but that man had a struggle and a fight to get his life back from wrongdoing.
Right. Brian Banks, you can IMDb it or something. I don't know if that's going to be the final title because they're still doing a working title. It might be still just give it Brian Banks or the Brian Banks story. Be looking for this movie when it comes out because it is an amazing film, very touching, very, very drama-filled. It's different for Tom Shadyac. Tom Shadyac directed Ace Ventura, Liar Liar, Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty.
So he's got a comedy background.
The Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy.
So very heavy comedy background.
Very.
And now he goes to a drama.
Well, he does. He did do a somewhat drama thriller movie with Kevin Costner called Dragonfly. I don't know if you remember it. Very good movie. I remember watching it and I was kind of creeped out in some of that movie. And then the ending totally paid off. I felt like it was like a spiritual kind of driven movie by the ending. But it was like a suspense supernatural movie, and then the ending.
But that's his only outing from comedy,
right?
And then now to this straight drama.
Mostly, it's
kind of an indie film in a way. I mean, not.
I wouldn't say Brian Banks is really that much of an indie film. I mean, I guess you could.
It's a smaller budget film,
right?
Like he did, but he got Morgan Freeman in. He got David Kinnear on it. I mean,
Greg Kinnear
on it.
Yeah.
But he did have a smaller budget to work with.
Right.
I
And
mean,
it was his first movie in 10 years.
Yeah, and he was down here in Memphis on Beale Street, downtown, filming.
Right. And he also filmed at where I work, Rhodes College.
Yep.
So,
Yep,
and that actually, in this cut, we saw a rough cut of the film.
Both worked.
Yeah.
He was there.
There was a rough cut of the film, and we were wondering if it was going to make the cut. And in this cut, it did. In this test screening, it did. Now, when it gets through final post production and gets the final edit and everything, I really think they're going to keep those scenes in because they're pretty pivotal.
Were they good scenes?
Yeah, they were. They were like they meant something.
My one disappointment being there is I was there when they started filming and all the crews were coming up, and I did not get to meet Morgan Freeman.
Yeah,
that was I wanted to meet Morgan Freeman. I didn't.
You should just went up to him and say, "I want you to narrate my life."
I just wanted to. Yes. He is a great narrator. I mean, great actor, but just his voice.
Right.
His voice is amazing.
Yeah.
But I just at least wanted to see the man, and I didn't even get to see him.
I can't really give away too much about the film. Just know it's a true story. If you want to know more about it, look up Brian Banks and the story about it. It's pretty accurate.
They do have a lot on Wikipedia. They have the whole breakdown
IMDb as well.
of what happened. But I would hold off.
Yeah.
Don't spoil yourself.
But definitely be checking this film out. It was better than I expected it to be. And the guy, I was also looking at, I can't remember the guy's name, but the main character who plays Brian Banks, he was also something DC Ren or DMC Ren in Straight Outta Compton. I have to rewatch Straight Outta Compton. That was a good film too. But I guess he played a raptor. I guess he played one of the side rappers or something. I don't know. But
he was a raptor. Rapping raptor.
Yeah, we're talking about Jurassic World raptors. But yeah, he does a great job, man. I mean, it had like.
Well, no, after you told me about that movie and you going to watch it and how you said how good it was and that it was a really good movie.
Yes.
I kind of hate myself for looking on Wiki.
Knowing too much.
On Wikipedia, yeah, and knowing too much about it. Because as soon as they showed up on the campus where we work at and they were filming, I looked up the story so I could know what they were filming, and now I wish I hadn't.
Right.
I want to see this movie with fresh eyes.
Right.
So, y'all don't look it up.
Yeah.
Watch it with fresh eyes when it comes out.
Read the synopsis of the movie. Know the gist of it.
Yeah.
Don't go too far into detail about it.
Do not get on Wikipedia.
It was a really touching film, and
a little bit of a tearjerker.
There were some scenes, that was kind of like, oh wow. There's a certain line in the movie. I don't know if I can give it out. I'm not going to give it out.
No.
But it really made me think. And I honestly, since I've seen the film, I haven't quit thinking about it. I keep thinking more about how I kind of want to watch it again. But so I'll be looking out for that. Brian Banks, or the Brian Banks story. That'll be coming out. It's in post production right now. All right. Moving on. Halloween 2018. We are getting a Halloween movie. This is nothing new to the YouTube community.
Is it another Rob Zombie?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So you don't know anything about the new Halloween?
No.
Okay.
I just know the last ones with Rob Zombie. The remake we just talked about him.
This is David Gordon Green. He's directing it. The guy who did Pineapple Express. He's one of the creators on Vice Principals. He has a lot of comedy background. He does have some drama.
I was about to just say Pineapple Express, Halloween. That is
right.
Two total different ends.
Right, and that's my first thought too. Great director, but they are very determined that this is not going to be a comedy. This is going to be a serious movie.
Oh, better not. It's Halloween.
And this is a direct sequel to the original. They're even forgetting Halloween 2 when she was in the hospital. And all the sequels after that, they're swiping the slate clean.
They need to keep their fan base. They have a very, with horror movies, you have a very loyal fan base. You do not want to betray them.
Right. And I love Halloween, man. But one thing that kind of puzzles me, and I don't know if it's going to work, I'm going to have to see it, and I keep seeing so much news on this movie. I probably need to quit reading so much on it because I don't want to know everything about this damn movie before it comes out. I don't want to ruin the experience for me. But basically, Jamie Lee Curtis is back as Laurie Strode. They're getting rid of the brother-sister dynamic. They're not brother-sister. Like in the original, they weren't. And it was like a scene.
Later, it came up that they
were
were
brother,
and
that was his motivation and all that shit. They're swiping 2 clean. The ending. Have you ever seen the original Halloween?
It has been forever, man.
Dr. Loomis basically shoots Michael Myers off the balcony. When they go back down there, he's missing. The second film picks up right after that. But in this, they're talking about they're going to change the ending. Michael Myers actually survives. I don't know where they're going to go with this. I don't know what they're going to do with Dr. Loomis because Donald Pleasance, he's dead now. Rest in peace. But it's going to be hard to fill those shoes for Donald Pleasance. I don't know if they're going to change it up to where, like, they catch Michael. You know, like they pick up, like they could do a totally different things with it. Remember how like they do Robert Downey Jr. in the Civil War movie? They made him younger. Mm-hmm. And they did. What if they do that with Jamie Lee Curtis?
Or was it Michael Douglas and Ant-Man?
Ant-Man, yeah. What if they do that with Jamie Lee Curtis, make her younger to make her look like she's back in the 70s? I can't remember the year, 76, something like that? 78?
Do not do Justice League.
Yeah.
Do not do that CGI.
Well, I'm thinking that they could do it to where they show her younger a little bit, and then maybe like Michael gets incarcerated. But what it seems like, things that are getting dropped about this, is that maybe Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, is playing the Donald Pleasance character, Dr. Loomis. And this one, like, this is taking place years after. We did that in H2O. We did that, and I liked H2O. Some people didn't feel that movie. I thought it was pretty well done for what it was, and I think it's one of the better Halloween sequels that we ever got. But they're even swiping that clean, like because she died in Resurrection at the beginning of Resurrection, which Resurrection everybody hates. That's the reason for the remakes.
I haven't.
That movie was for the remakes.
It kind of went off the rails, and I didn't watch any of them.
Yeah, Resurrection. I thought it was a fun movie. I did not like it for a Halloween movie, but it was a fun movie. It had some creative. It had some really neat kills. But Busta Rhymes, get the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, he had some comedic moments in the movie, but for a Halloween movie, no, it did not. That was a cash grab movie.
Did he ever say, "Give me some more"?
Yeah.
In the movie. Give me some more.
No, but he did say "trick or treat, motherfucker," and then he did some kung fu shit and kicked Michael out the window. I mean, it was just like, come on, man. And a lot of people thought that the movie they were going to go back and it was going to pick up after that, because at the end of that film, his eyes he gets woken up, he gets electrocuted, his face kind of gets burnt, his mask gets burnt to his face. And I thought that would have been a cool look for the next film, like his mask kind of like melted into his face
like
a little bit,
stuck there.
Yeah,
Cannot move it.
I was like, man, that's going to be badass. But his eyes wake in the morgue or in the hospital or whatever, and but. Next thing you know, we got a remake with Rob Zombie. So now we're going back. We're swiping everything clean, everything with.
So a good hard reboot.
And it's starting from Halloween. The original John Carpenter's back on it.
I'm all for hard reboots. I mean, it's been you can only go so far with the story before you need to reboot it if you're going to keep that franchise
and a writer
going.
on the.
So just like I said with Indiana Jones needs to take some advice from these Halloween people and reboot.
Yeah, right. And this movie's success really is very important, because for us that are horror fans and that are slasher fans,
there's not many slashers.
This could be the resurgence of slasher movies. Like, we could get a good Jason movie
without
after
some
this.
corny campy stuff.
Right.
Like
we need Nightmare on Elm Street or something. You know, like, I mean, these remakes, they were just kind of like half-assed, I felt like.
We need a good, scary slasher.
And with this being a sequel to the original, and John Carpenter back on it, and then you got, what's his name? Danny McBride is one of the writers on it. You know, David Gordon Green and Danny McBride, they both worked on Vice Principals. I don't know if that's the reason
Isn't that the comedy dude, Danny McBride?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's bound down.
Did you see? He's on
Dundee.
He is the new Dundee movie.
It's fake.
That's not even a real movie.
It's a fake trailer.
Oh.
I would like to see that trailer. I would like to see a movie like that.
Because we saw it with Chris Hemsworth and
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, I mean everybody in it.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this might be pretty cool. But no, dude, it's fake. I don't know why they did it.
That makes you think they got all them big name actors in it. Like I just watched that trailer last night.
Maybe it'll give them an idea to actually make a movie.
But I watched it last night, so that's not even a real movie.
No.
Then why did they do it?
I don't know. I really leave a comment in the comment section below. Why did they make a fake Crocodile Dundee type film with
Yeah.
Danny McBride.
Because they had me fooled.
I didn't really
thought
look
was a
into
movie.
it. I did too at first. I was like, wow, this is going to be...
Danny McBride had me sold off on it, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
and
then
Chris
everybody
Hemsworth.
else in it had me sold on it.
Yeah.
Because everybody else that was in that movie is from Australia.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman.
Danny McBride, I don't... A lot of y'all might like it. You might hate me for saying it. I don't like his
Really?
comedy. I don't care for him.
Really? I like him, man. I like him.
I'm not a big fan
Have
of
you
him.
seen Vice Principals?
No.
Check it out, man. Liz,
I mean, now,
my wife...
like Pineapple Express, he was the one I did not like.
Really? My wife does not like Danny McBride, but when she watched Vice Principals, she could not quit watching it. She's like, she loved it. It's hilarious. It's got Walton Goggins. It's the both of them. If you haven't seen Vice Principals on HBO, check it out. There's only 2 seasons. So,
He just feels, to me, his stuff is dumb comedy. Like,
and it is. He's very cocky. He's very crude.
to me, I like Will Ferrell, but he's just a little bit dumber than Will
One
Ferrell
thing
being,
that they
right?
told us is that this is not going to be a comedy type horror film. So
Good,
that's what
good.
they're actually putting some love into it, and I hope for the best. I don't really want to know anything else. I know we're gonna see a trailer. We're getting it this Halloween. I think this is the first Halloween movie to come out around Halloween. Yeah, most of them come out in like July or August or
No,
June.
a horror movie needs to be released around Halloween.
Especially with
That's-
the title Halloween.
And release it before, not after. Before Halloween, like right before.
But there are rumors that are saying that Michael Myers is going to get killed off in this one, and then they'll reboot it after this. I would say just leave it open ended,
Yeah.
and give it an
That
opportunity
way you
to
give it a chance to multiple
say,
scripts.
say work off of this. This is our story. Work off
and
of
then
this.
you get multiple options. This person comes with this script, this one comes with this and this, and you can branch the story from there.
When we reboot it, every single time we turn around, someone's gonna fuck it up, and we're gonna get pissed off as fans. We're all gonna watch it because it's a Michael Myers movie. It's Halloween.
Then I do have one other ad real quick on the movie aspect, is the Mission Impossible 6.
Okay.
Coming in theaters.
Fallout.
Yep, Fallout coming July 27th. I know that Henry Cavill is in it because of the just crappy CGI in Justice League. He had a beard and mustache and goatee.
It was
and they had
noticeable.
they had to CGI and it looked terrible. But he stated it was because he was in this movie. I like every one of the Mission Impossibles. They are some good movies, and I think Ghost Protocol is my favorite.
Ghost Protocol is great.
The next one after it,
What was that one?
what was that one?
Was that Ghost Protocol?
No, Ghost Protocol was the one where they first introduced Jeremy
Rogue.
Renner into it.
What was it?
Rogue was the next one.
Okay, Rogue something.
That's the newest one,
Was it-
besides this 6.
Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
Rogue Agent?
Rogue Nation.
Nation.
That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
That was okay.
Ghost Protocol to me was one of the best
Yes,
ones. I
yes.
love that they added Jeremy Renner. I love Jeremy Renner as an actor.
Yeah,
I think
great.
he is amazing.
You know, I remember him in National Lampoon's Senior Trip. You ever seen that movie? Oh man, it had the fat dude, the husky dude from Child. What was it?
Voluptuous.
Problem Child 2. Remember the big guy that would always go after Junior in Problem Child 2 and all that kind of stuff. And
Principal dude?
no, the kid from.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was like
yeah,
his
the
bully.
Yeah, the bully.
Yeah, he was in Senior Trip, and I always remember him like being funny in that. And then Jeremy Renner, he had like a butt cut, and it was like parted down.
I cannot
And he was
picture
skinny.
that at all.
Oh man, you gotta see
Oh.
National Lampoon Senior Trip, one of Jeremy
See,
Renner's
that's
prime teen movies, like a American Pie type film.
See, my all-time dream with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that
I
they
hope it holds up.
make with Jeremy Renner and Scarlett Johansson, make a movie with their characters. Make it R, make it dark and gritty, make it when they first meet when she's bad, he's good, and he brings her to the good side.
Yeah.
I mean, make it where their timelines converge, but no superpowers. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, she's just badass, he's badass. Just merge that.
Right.
Get rid of the superpowers. Make it dark. Make it gritty. They're normal people just with some awesome abilities that they have honed over their lifetimes.
Right.
That would be awesome. But Jeremy Renner, excellent actor. I love that they put him in Mission Impossible. He was great in Ghost Protocol. Rogue Nation was alright, but it still wasn't as good. I think Ghost Protocol was the resurgence of Mission Impossible, and I am very hopeful that 6 will be good.
Yeah, and the poster looks great.
Simon Pegg's in it. I mean,
yeah, and I think he's one of the writers or creators on it or something now, like he was Star Trek.
Yeah.
I think
Simon Pegg's
he's got his hand on it some way.
I've always loved Simon Pegg. He is funny.
And even with Tom Cruise,
actor.
like I think that Tom Cruise movies are hit or miss. But like you said, like Ghost Protocol,
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow was good.
That movie.
That was great.
Loved it.
American Made. It took me a while to watch American Made.
Yeah.
It's good. I did not expect it to be that good.
We watched most of The Mummy, and we liked it. Me and my wife, we were watching it, and the first half we have thoroughly enjoyed. But
there's parts of The Mummy with Tom Cruise that I enjoy. Overall, as a film, I felt like they hit the mark. They missed the mark. They tried to do too much, kind of like how DC's doing.
Yeah.
They tried to do too much in the first movie.
Yeah.
And I really felt like
DC.
I really think that Tom Cruise has a lot of creative control over his movies, and I feel like Tom.
Just take a step back.
Don't let the director do his thing. Don't try to direct.
Back. Don't put too much into it. Like with DC, they're trying to catch up to Marvel. No. Do your own thing. Yeah. Focus on one character, 2 characters.
You make a Batman movie, we're gonna go watch it.
You've jumped from Batman with Christian Bale to, Superman with Henry Cavill to Batman vs Superman with Ben Affleck to now Justice League. Like you've went from one movie, with Batman vs Superman,
Suicide Squad.
But you went from Superman with Henry Cavill to the next movie and Batman Wonder Woman. The next movie is just straight Justice League.
It should have been Superman, then Batman, then Batman.
Look at Marvel Cinematic Universe. Look at their phases, their laid out plan. Don't copy them. Do your own crap.
But I'm probably in the minority here. I know it's a very split decision. Split audience here when it comes to Batman vs Superman. I enjoyed it.
I loved them. I loved them all. I
wasn't the biggest fan of, honestly. Okay.
I'm not one that's gonna pick apart. I don't like this camera angle. I don't like this slide. I don't like this.
I thought Batman.
I enjoyed them.
I thought Ben Affleck is good as Batman.
Yes, he is.
I thought he was
really
badass.
Good.
That one scene in the warehouse where Batman was beating ass and he was just like taking names. I was like, oh man, this is the Batman I want to see.
Yes.
And I was like, and then in Justice League, he doesn't really get that moment to shine.
No, he doesn't.
And I know they're saying there's like 45 minutes to that movie, and they're asking for the
I
final
love
cut.
Justice League. I still liked it. The bad guy was a little weak. The CGI in his face kind of sucked, but I enjoyed the movie for what it was. I enjoyed them fighting together, but Batman got his ass whooped most of the time.
I feel like Justice League is an easy watch. I would say that. It's easy to throw on.
Mm-hmm.
It gets better throughout the movie. When it first starts, you're introduced to Batman. That scene's okay, but when you're introduced to Wonder Woman, and I do like Wonder Woman. I like Gal Gadot.
Where she's doing the statue and all that stuff.
And then she's like blocking the bullets in the bank and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on. Hold on. Like, this is too much too quick. I was like this. I didn't like it. I thought it was kind of lame.
DC's just trying to catch up to Marvel, so they're rushing them together where they should forget what the other guy's doing.
And in the
slow down, like. Introduce us to a Flash movie, a Aquaman. Like, don't just shove, like, hey,
Aquaman
here's 10 characters that we're throwing in one movie.
Yeah.
Like, introduce us. Like, forget what Marvel's doing. Do your own thing. Like, that's all you need to do.
Right.
Is get us invested in your world, and we'll come see your movies.
Yeah.
You don't have to catch up to the other guy. Be different.
Wonder Woman is a good movie. I would say that I enjoyed it the first time I watched it. I started watching it again with my daughter, and I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of cheesy a little bit. I don't know if I was just picking it apart. I really think, what's his name? Not Chris Evans. What's his name?
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. Chris Pine really brings a
Yes.
strong,
Yes.
like...
He's the main reason I wanted to watch that movie. Because he's one of those other actors that if he's in something, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
The one movie I have yet to watch with him in it is Hell or High Water.
Great movie.
I have not seen that one yet,
Yeah.
and I still kick myself in the butt about not seeing it
Yeah,
yet.
you need to see it. Same guy made Sicario and Wind River. I think he's making another movie.
But he's up there. I mean, Ryan Reynolds, Jeremy Renner, Chris Pine. I mean, Chris Pratt. those people that are, if they're in any movie, I want to watch them.
Right.
Because I know they are going to put their all into it, and they are going to be that role.
Hell or High Water is a very good movie. It has its slow moments like Sicario, but it's very story driven.
Does Jeff Bridges have that drunk Southern accent like he does?
You might need subtitles for his dialogue.
Man, like R.I.P.D. and.
But it fits his role. He's like a country sheriff.
Yeah, but like in R.I.P.D. and some of them other movies with his little freaking... He sounds like he's a drunk Southerner in his recent roles.
He's also in...
And that just is annoying. Like, you don't have to... With his lip poked out. Like, no. Just cut that away, please.
I think that's just his signature thing. I don't know.
But it didn't used to be.
He's in Only the Brave as well with Josh Brolin.
But it didn't used to be that way. It's just recent that that's his thing.
Yeah.
Like in...
Yeah,
in Tron, he wasn't like that.
Yeah, true.
After Tron, he started doing his lip kind of like making himself with an underbite and talking in that accent and sound like he was drunk.
You think he's typecast now?
Yeah, he's kind of doing the same thing every role. Leave that to Johnny Depp. He does it great with Pirates of the Caribbean being a drunk guy. Leave that to him.
Man, I think Johnny Depp is so overrated as an actor. I don't think he's a bad actor. I just think he's overrated. I think some of his movies are better than his actual acting performance. I don't know.
He's just in the right place at the right time, man. That's all that sometimes it turns out to be. It's in the right place at the right time. You rub shoulders with the right people. Yeah. I mean, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And you get in bed with the hot women. So I mean, and he screwed that up with Amy Heard. So.
Amber.
Okay.
Amber Heard.
My bad,
yeah. But I honestly I thought Johnny Depp's one of his best movies was Sleepy Hollow. I love Sleepy Hollow. I thought it was a very.
That's one of my wife's favorite movies. She loves
I think the setting's perfect. I think it's good. It does have its goofy moments and stuff. But when I went to see that movie at the theaters, I was like, oh my god! Like I could not take my eyes off screen. I was like,
what is that one horror movie that he came out with? Something Window.
Secret Window. Stephen King adaptation.
Hated that movie.
Really?
I watched that in theaters and could not stand
it. See, that a lot of people
Other
feel that way.
Liked it. But
no, a lot of people feel the way you do.
I just did not. Oh, I did not. No, to me, that was one of his worst performances.
Is it because it was boring?
I just couldn't get invested in the story. And then they cut to, spoiler warning, that it was like some kind of...
Split personality?
Yeah, they just went about it the wrong way.
I actually enjoy Secret Window. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of a sucker for that movie. I just kind of liked it. I thought it was kind of. I like those psychological movies and.
This other movie, was it Rum Diaries? Didn't care for that one either.
Yeah, that was okay. I remember that. I probably won't ever watch that again. But,
he's a typecast to me now. Like he is known as Captain Jack Sparrow. That is. His role. But
what I want to do, I want to wrap up the movie talk. I'm gonna go over these next few topics real quick. We got Black Panther coming out. It's leading up to Infinity War. It's already making the money that the pre-sales is set to say it's going to be making more than the original Avengers.
I cannot wait. I'm just worried that they're taking it a little too futuristic with the stuff that they have in that town, with the kind of the hover cars and just
early reactions all early reactions is positive.
I'm hoping.
There's no reviews out, but
I'm just hoping they don't take it too weird, futuristic, gadgety style. Focus on those. I mean, I know you're a secluded country with this advanced metal technology, but don't go too weird with it.
Well, I mean, I don't really know much about Black Panther. I never was a comic reader or kept up with it or anything, but I do want to see it. I think it's good.
I can't wait. It's a Marvel.
He was awesome in Civil War.
I can't wait. I still want to see it. I'm just worried.
Yeah.
About my investment into that movie as far as how sci-fi they go with it. But I am confident that it's still going to be an enjoyable watch.
They do say that Michael B. Jordan is one of the better villains of the Marvel Universe because they always have a problem with their villains being real menacing.
Oh, he looks like a good villain.
Yeah, and so I'm really looking forward to that. We got that, and then we got Avengers Infinity War, and it looks like in Avengers Infinity War, it looks like they're having a battle on that planet that Black Panther's on. So So
Well, it's not. It's a country. It's a
country,
clear country.
okay.
Yeah.
And maybe one of the stones is on there or something that Thanos
Yeah.
has to get.
That might be what gives them
Yeah.
their extra technology and
Yeah.
power. I mean,
Another movie that came out today, this week. I don't know if I'm gonna upload this video today or tomorrow, but it's Friday today. Winchester has came out, and that's got Helen Mirren and Jason Clarke in it, and it's basically about a Helen Mirren's character has to continuously have construction on this house because supposedly like all the people that was killed by the Winchester rifle. Is haunting the house or something. I think there's this house and
everybody killed by one rifle.
I think it's just any Winchester rifle, or maybe it is one rifle.
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
what I mean, but
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Any rifle made by this company is now hunting this one house, so that could be thousands of people.
Right. So she has to
Especially during wartime.
So she has to constantly continue to build rooms and different
to
doorways.
accommodate.
And well, basically, I think what it is that they're building rooms of where it has to be a room that looks like the room that they died in, they got shot in. So that's what they keep. And so the house is all crooked looking and different stairwells and windows and doors and.
So they're making
Sure.
rooms for each ghost.
Yeah, and Jason Clarke is there to like he's like an insurance guy or something. That's like investigating Helen Mirren to see if she's crazy or not, or whatever, and then hauntings start happening. But I was very excited to see this film. I think you can actually visit this place in
What's the
California somewhere. I'm not quite sure where.
what's the outlook on this movie right now? Like, what are people saying as far as?
What I've seen a few people saying is that it's kind of mediocre. It's kind of like it takes its own like with actors like Helen Mirren and Jason Clarke, you would expect something magnificent, but I heard that it's hard to grasp on to Jason Clarke's character. Like you really don't care about him. Helen Mirren gives her all in it, but it's just like there's like a lot of fake jump scares in it that kind of like by the end of the movie you're just kind of like
Take you out of it.
yeah, it's kind of like it might be
desensitizes you to the
yeah.
next
I'm
one.
I'm still gonna go see it for what it is.
Because what you originally said, the whole story premise sounds neat.
Yes.
Like, all right, well, this house keeps getting haunted by these people killed by this rifle, so we're gonna build rooms to pacify these ghosts,
Right.
to make them, I
And
guess,
then
more
the
comfortable, like
Well,
to
to keep them
keep them from going crazy, like
What,
being
like-
violent,
keep them neutral, keep
Yeah.
them to where they don't
where they don't go evil.
But it shows in the trailer like all these like boards flopping off of these doorways and stuff, and like they're all getting released.
so
at
something
once.
goes wrong.
Yeah. So I don't know. You know, I don't know how the movie's going to be presented. The execution of the film.
So I'll wait on your opinion before
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah,
so.
I definitely want to see it. I've been eyeing this movie for like a year now, so. But yeah, if you want to go see Winchester, it comes out this weekend. Maze Runner, what's the new Maze Runner movie? The Death Cure came out last weekend.
See, that's
I've heard great
one-
things.
I've recorded the first two on demand, they came on movie channels because that's one series I never got to watch.
It's
I
probably
read
one
the
of the better.
books.
It's probably one of the better.
I read the books. I read the first book and the second book. I never got to the third one, but I read the first two books of that series, and they were really good books.
Yeah.
I don't know why I have not ever caught on to watching the movies, considering I thought the books were good enough to do a full read through. So.
Well, I think that for young adult movies that are being adapted, and
Isn't that guy in the American Assassin? Is that?
I like that movie. I actually liked American Assassin. I didn't think I
wanna
was
see
going
it.
to. It's good.
But isn't that
it's pretty
same
good.
kid?
Yeah, Dylan O'Brien. I think that's his name.
He looks totally different in the two movies.
Yeah, but he is a good actor. He's also in Deepwater Horizon with Mark Wahlberg. The true
Oh, he
story
is?
about the yeah. He plays like a smaller role,
Is he one of the ones right when it starts to blow up?
Yeah.
He's in that room.
and
Oh.
he's like on the drill, and he's like like
Yeah.
just shooting the shit. Great actor. I really think that this guy's going places, and I think that the director has stayed put. I can't remember the director on the film. Forgive me, but he did Maze Runner, the Scorched Trials, which I only seen half of.
See,
I need
I'm
to watch
hyped
the rest
to
of it.
watch them. I
And
recorded them. I just hadn't watched them yet.
The Maze Runner, the Death Cure. So he's stayed with the franchise. A lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, and the trailers I watched for that Death Cure look awesome. Like they show they're boarded up in some office room and they come to bust in and they jump out. They throw something through a window and jump out, and just
the camera angles look amazing.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Like I did not realize it was Maze Runner. I'm watching this trailer. I'm like, dude, what kind of movie am I? This looks awesome. And then it said Maze Runner Death Cure, and I'm like, well, crap, now I gotta watch the first two movies to see this.
I need to rewatch the Scorch Trials. I did like the original Maze Runner. I was like, wow, I could actually get into this young adult adaptation film.
And there's some good books. I mean, they are some kind of more farther fetched sci-fi. I mean, they're on the same plane as Hunger Games.
They got some good actors,
but it kind of goes a little bit farther than Hunger Games on the sci-fi aspect in the books. But I will not spoil anything, but they're definitely worth a read. If you like the movies, read the books. They are great.
Yeah. He reads books. I don't read. I wish I did more, but I don't have time to read. Shit. Give me something, an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm done with you.
But
like anyways.
The Martian book a lot better than the movie.
Yeah.
The movie's great. Book is 10 times better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Another thing, it was just announced that there's a Men in Black reboot in the works, and F. Gary Gray is set to direct it. You know, I think he did Straight Outta Compton, he did Too Fast, Too Furious, and he did The Fate of the Furious.
I'm a layman when it comes to directors and stuff. I don't...
Well, I mean, that's all I know right now. With
they don't have any kind of casting stuff
that's okay. And you know, and this is subject to change, but that's basically what's on the books right now. Basically, with them doing a Men in Black reboot, there's also a Bad Boys 3 that's been on and off for a while now. Well, now they're saying it's on. As soon as I heard this Men in Black reboot, I heard it's back on. And I mean, maybe from the success of the Bright series, the Bright movie that was on Netflix with Will Smith.
I enjoyed it. It was
I haven't watched it yet.
It was a good watch. I mean, it is not the greatest, but it was a good watch. It just...
yeah.
What it's made to do is the discrimination in our country due to racial issues.
Okay.
It is about, you know, I mean, you've got the orcs and you've got the humans, and it's a movie made to point out the injustice and the inequality of races in the country.
Right.
You can tell that is the forefront of the statement of that story, of that movie. It shines its face through the entire movie.
Yeah.
And sometimes, and I know I'll get some hate for this, it takes away from the movie. Okay. Because it wants to make a political statement or a point or an issue, or it wants to show you some injustice, and it takes away from the story.
Yes.
I am watching this movie to escape my life, to enjoy something, to enter a new world, to be entertained. And when you shove your ideologies or your statements throughout the entire movie, it kind of takes away from the movie.
You're talking about when they like beat you over the head with it.
Yes, all the time.
You can dabble into it, like, okay, we get your point, but don't keep on.
I mean, that's points of certain great movies is to show me your opinion, show me something, to show the injustice. That there is fantastic movies that do that. But when you beat over the head, when it's a sci-fi movie with orcs and fairies and all kind of, that's not really the movie to me to beat you over the head with it.
Right. Right.
You're showing me Lord of the Rings in modern day times, where there's orcs and there's elves, but we're with cars and guns and stuff. Like, that's don't beat me over the head with your political agendas. Like, that should be just a fun, lighthearted action movie.
I mean, actually, like, my wife watched it without me one night. She gets mad when I watch movies without her. But she watched it when I was at work one night. I was like, and she actually enjoyed it. She said she liked it.
Like I said, we watched it and we liked it. It was a good movie, great graphics. I mean, it's end of watch kind of style. Gangsters are out hunting these cops, but it adds some fantasy stuff in there. But then it adds the injustice of everybody hates on the orcs. The orcs are, no matter if they're good or bad, people
they're the
hate
lowest
on them.
of the low.
Yes, they're the low-class citizens.
Okay. Well, it must be doing something right because it got announced a sequel. There's a sequel. Bright 2's coming out.
Sweet.
So they already did like a little teaser trailer with the orc.
It's a really good movie.
What's his name? Joel Edgerton, who played the orc. You can't really tell it in the costume, but
no, I didn't even know it at first.
Yeah, Joel Edgerton.
I saw it until I looked it up.
Joel Edgerton's great. I still need to watch.
Wasn't it a Zero Dark 30? Is that him?
I believe that he was in that, and he was also in
Lawless?
The Gift. I need to buy that movie. Have you seen The Gift? He directed it, and Jason Bateman's in it, and he's like a psycho friend from high school, and he just shows up, and he's like, hey.
Yes, I remember.
Great.
I did not watch it. I remember the trailers.
Man, I need to
stuff,
get that movie. I have not seen that for sale in a while, and I wish I would have bought it back then. And then he made Into the Night.
Yeah, is that the one with the cabin and stuff?
Yeah, I have that film. I've heard great things. I have not watched that either, but I'm waiting for the perfect opportunity. I don't know what I'm waiting on. I keep forgetting. I guess.
Is he in Lawless as well? Was that him, or am I getting that confused?
That's Jason Clarke. That's in Lawless.
The one that was in Planet of the Apes.
He's gonna be in Winchester.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Planet of the Apes. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Jason Clarke. I think he's good as a supporting role, as a movie that because what was that other movie? Everest. That he was in. He was like the main actor in Everest, and you had Jake Gyllenhaal, you had Josh Brolin.
I couldn't watch it all in one setting.
I was so hyped to see that movie, and I was just kind of like, all right, I'm ready for this movie to be over. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
a little let down.
I felt like, okay, it was shot in IMAX or whatever, and it looks, cinematography is great, but I was just kind of like, you know, like
it took a 1 hour story and turned it into a 3 hour story.
I was ready for it to be over.
Padding in there.
Yeah, I really don't find Jason. Okay, all right. Speaking about this, there are certain actors I just don't find interesting. Jason Clarke is one of them. Christian Bale is another. I love The Dark Knight. I'm not.
Honestly, that's the only movie that I really like with him in it.
A movie that I like more than The Dark Knight with Christian Bale's performance. We're talking about his performance.
See, I've never seen American Hustle, so.
Is The Fighter with Mark Wahlberg.
That was a good one, too.
I've
never seen American Hustle.
That was the best. American Hustle was okay. But he did great in that. That was the first movie that I was like, oh, wow, he's a really good actor.
He did one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best Batman performances. I mean, I like Michael Keaton's, but for modern day, he did the best until I saw Ben Affleck.
Batman was great,
and I do think Ben Affleck does it better than Christian Bale.
Right, because he has the charisma that I think that
The Accountant. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite action movies of last year. Like, that was an amazing action flick.
Yeah, that was a great movie. But the thing about Christian Bale, I think he's kind of dry in a lot of his stuff. He's a good actor. I can see why he's a good actor, but I just don't think he's that interesting to watch.
He's a type actor. Like, he can only fit certain roles. Where, to me, Ben Affleck can fit any role.
Right.
I have seen him in any... The Town.
Perfect.
God, The Town.
Perfect thing that I'm trying to say is Christian Bale is a great Batman, not the greatest Bruce Wayne.
Yes. Michael Keaton, to me, was one of the greatest Bruce Waynes.
Yes.
I think Michael Keaton did that great job, but...
Yeah. And even though that Christopher Nolan Batman movies were some of the best Batman movies.
As far as Bruce Wayne and Batman combined, Ben Affleck does the best of both.
Yep.
He may not be the best Bruce Wayne or the best Batman, but combined, he is the best to play both roles.
Yep.
But next on the next topic...
I'm going to go over these last two topics, and then we're going to give out some movie recommendations.
Speed round.
Yeah, we're going to speed around. I know we've been kind of lingering. We got a lot to talk about. This is our first episode, so bear with us if you're still watching us. You know.
Yeah, we still got the second half on video games.
So. That might be a second. I might just turn that into a second video because this is so long. Another thing, Holmes and Watson just got announced with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. It's a Sherlock Holmes movie, but in a comedy aspect. The same guys from Step Brothers. The same guys.
Yeah. They're a good one watch for a laugh, but I'm not...
If they do it right.
Yeah.
With them two, man, it's comedy gold.
I've watched it. After about 2 or 3 times of watching, I'm done. Like, I've watched it 2 or 3 times, and I'm just like, all right.
But their chemistry on film.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's still the first time you watch it is laughs. I mean, it is great, but after you watch it several times, those laughs go away, and then I'm just like, I'm watching some corny movie.
You got to have a clever script for this. It can't just be dumb,
No,
like a parody of scary
that's
movie
another
or
one
something.
Talking about earlier with Avengers, with Iron Man and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised that they haven't done another Sherlock Holmes, not in this aspect, but...
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, I
Robert
guess.
Downey Jr. and Jude Law. I'm shocked that because when he first started Iron Man, he was Sherlock Holmes and Iron Man. Like that was his two things, and then they just kind of cut that off.
Yeah. Well, this is supposedly that's in the works right now. I didn't even know about it until yesterday.
I hope they don't take a Land of the Lost approach. That was
Yeah.
a little. But now Step Brothers, if they take a Step Brothers style, like that kind of structure,
I'm
that
assuming
kind of
that.
comedy, that would be funny. But the Land of the Lost one,
No, not
that
Land of the Lost.
oh, that was terrible.
I really think that they're going to take it. I mean, honestly, I think they need to make it R.
No.
Make it rated R.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh,
you know who your
cussing.
audience is going to be with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. You know who your audience is going to be. It's going to make money. Just go
Do all
balls
the
to the wall.
yeah, raunchy cussing, just.
It doesn't have to be over the top raunchy, but I mean, just don't be
That-
restricted.
I mean, look at who you got. I mean, there's gonna be some raunchiness in it.
Yeah. So so we got Holmes and Watson, which is a Sherlock Holmes comedy film with Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly. Be on the lookout for that. Another film we got coming out is a reboot of Dr. Dolittle with Robert Downey Jr. So Robert Downey Jr. is playing Dr. Dolittle. They're talking about it might be a more action approach. I don't know how they're going to do that. How are they going to do action with Dr. Dolittle? I've never been a fan of Dr. Dolittle, even when Eddie Murphy
What,
did
if
it.
he's in the African safari and lions are coming to attack him? Like, I don't...
It made me think that when I heard Holmes and Watson and Will Ferrell and all that, and then Dr. Dolittle with Robert Downey Jr., it's like, oh, well, that got taken over.
They should have swapped.
Yeah. Yeah, that got taken over, so Robert Downey Jr. is getting Dr. Dolittle now. Like, it's kind of
No,
like...
Will Ferrell should have been Dr. Dolittle. Like, there you go.
Yeah, I could see Will Ferrell doing some Dr. Dolittle.
I mean, it was Eddie Murphy. I
yeah.
mean, it was a comedy. You're going to take a more action approach. I mean, I know Robert Downey Jr. is adaptable to roles. He can do some comedy. He can do some action.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he might do the role justice. I just don't think the Doolittle role fits Robert Downey Jr. I think that role is a little bit too small for him, honestly, in my opinion.
I just don't know why we ain't getting a Step Brothers 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, or something like that. Like
What was the other one with Robert Downey Jr. and the Hangover dude? Zach Galifianakis. What was that movie?
Oh, Due Date.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Do Over. What? Fuck. I know what you're talking about. Is it Due Date? Is that the name of the movie? Look it up.
I think so.
Jamie Foxx has a
But
cameo in it.
Yeah. Where Jamie Foxx driving the big truck and he goes in the median.
Yeah.
And he's hopping.
It's like trains, planes, and automobiles, but a more raunchier version.
Yeah. I was kind of shocked they didn't come out with another one of those.
Yeah.
Some kind of little thing.
Actually,
but now Zach
I think it's Due Date.
Galifianakis is stuck to baskets on TV. Like he's
Masterminds.
going to TV.
Funny movie.
Yeah.
I thought that was comic gold, man.
But-
Even though it's not the greatest movie, it still has some... If a comedy does not have to be a masterpiece, if a comedy, it can be dumb as dirt, but if it makes me laugh, it succeeded. Because funny comedies that make you laugh are far and few between. Due Date. That's what I thought. I enjoyed it. I don't have it. Now I got it.
And I think Zach Galifianakis, I think he's funny.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed that his movie roles have kind of gone down, and now he
TV.
is on baskets on TV on FX or something.
Yeah.
I just keep seeing the previews for it.
Yep. Well, some of my movie recommendations right now, this Tuesday, it's going to get released on Redbox. Only the Brave. It's got Miles Teller, who else is in it? Miles Teller, you got Josh Brolin, you have, what's his name you were talking about, the country guy, the from Hell or High Water? Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges is in it, I'm sorry. And a great movie. It's about firefighters, they're hot shots, and it's a true story. I don't want to tell you anything about it.
I can't wait to see it.
I walked into it, and I did not know nothing about it, and it was shot in IMAX, so it didn't get so many theater releases in this area. It only got like certain releases, and it was, I think it was up for some awards. If not, it should have been. Great movie. I have to own it. When it comes out Tuesday, I'm going to buy it. Miles Teller keeps on amazing me. I'm gonna watch everything that he's in. He's just a terrific actor. I think Miles Teller, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Ben Foster are probably three of my favorite actors ever right now, working today. And they feel like they can do anything. They can do anything right now. Another movie that's in theaters right now, it's been out for a couple weeks, Den of Thieves. Gerard Butler's probably one of his better movies he's had in a long time.
I mean, kind of, yeah, because he's kind of hit the B-list role.
Yeah.
And this one feels like it's bringing him back up again.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to see this movie.
Yeah.
The trailers look amazing.
Yeah, he gives his all in it. And I'm telling you, it's not a new type of story because it's kind of like Heat. It's kind of like something we've seen before, but it's still really well made. It's really good. Now the last 2 minutes of the movie, they do this kind of like Ocean's 11 type twist. I'm not going to give anything away. Didn't really work for me, but I can forgive the film. 98% of the movie, terrific. That last bit, I can forgive. Netflix. We're going to talk about Netflix right now. A movie that I have been trying to get a lot of my viewers to watch and that did not get a lot of hype, and I'll leave the trailer in the description down below, is a movie called Demonic. Now this movie has, what's his name? Frank Grillo from The Purge. He was in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo, he's badass. I think he's the Wheelman on Netflix as well. You heard that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, Frank Grillo. This movie was set to be released, like, I don't know what year, like 4 or 5 years ago, right? And it got shelved. And it had James Wan, who did The Conjuring, Saw, all that. His name was produced on it or whatever. And I was like, wow, I was looking forward to this movie coming out. Then I heard nothing. I heard nothing at all. And then I saw it leaked online. I watched it, and I was like, wow. And then just recently it got released, but only a DVD version. And it also got released in Netflix. And you have to search it. It's not going to be right there on the main screen or anything. But it's called Demonic. And basically it's about these paranormal investigators. They go into this house. There's a backstory about this woman and how she was a witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. They go into the house. Stuff starts happening. And then it's kind of like one of those movies that's filmed like present day, back to the past to what happened. Present day, back to the past, what happened. And Frank Grillo is the detective that comes across this house, and he sees everyone murdered in the house. And he's kind of like, what is going on here? So he gets this psych, what's her name? Maria Bella. She tries to investigate this one survivor that made it out the night. So they're trying to figure out what happened. Don't tell me that something demonic happened in this house. These people were murdered. Tell me something real. So it plays between real and supernatural, and that's what I loved about the movie. And there was a mystery, and there was a good twist at the end that I was kind of like, wow. It's not a fantastic movie, but I feel like it needs more recognition. And if you're a Frank Grillo fan, and I know a lot of you are, highly recommend this movie. It's called Demonic. James Wan produced it. He's not a director on it, but it is right down his alley. If you like The Conjuring and stuff like that, it's really good. It's different too.
I'll definitely have to take a look at that.
Yeah, Demonic. I don't know how long it's gonna be on Netflix, so check it out when you can. Demonic. I'll leave a trailer in the description down below because I really want people to check this movie out. Another movie is The Invitation. I know that's around. The buzz is around. Great movie. It's been on Netflix for a while. It's got the guy from the guy that looks like shit. What's his name? I can't think of his name. Forgive me, but they basically go to their ex-wife's house and they kind of they're starting to play games and stuff like that. Their old friends are there. The ex-wife has a new husband, and I can't tell you what happens in the movie, but some shit goes down at this little gathering that they're having at the house.
These people?
Yeah, Logan Marshall. He was also in.
No, he was in
Prometheus.
the elevator. He was in the elevator movie too.
Devil.
M. Night Shyamalan, or is that what?
Devil.
Is that him? Yeah.
Devil. Yeah,
That was a great.
Yeah, he's also in Prometheus.
I love Devil. That was an awesome.
Yeah, Devil.
PG-13, but still an awesome PG-13 horror film.
Yeah, very effective. Yeah, check out The Invitation. Really cool suspense movie. Really good twist at the end too. The Invitation, The Babysitter, that's out right now. It's kind of a horror comedy, pretty good. It's about I know a lot of people already know about it. It's pretty popular right now because it just got released on Netflix a couple months ago. But it's about it's kind of cliche too. This kid that's getting babysitter, he has the hots for the babysitter. She babysits him one night. The parents go out for the night. and
Tell them where the ex-boyfriends come and.
no. See, that's another movie. That's the Better Watch Out.
Yeah.
Similar but different. Both of them are different. Came out around the same time, but this one had the hots for the babysitter, and she thinks that he's asleep at night, and they're actually like a satanic cult, but they're like high school kids. And I don't want to give you any more away, but like he witnesses a murder that happens on his own house, so then he has to fight for survival because these satanic cult people are trying to kill him. So it's really goofy. Mick G made it. He also did Terminator Salvation.
Okay.
So, and I think he did one of the Charlie's Angels films.
Who's the crappy one that everybody talks bad about?
Oh Boyle.
House of the Dead or
yeah. Oh Boyle.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah.
The one that's a crappy.
Yeah.
Always has some B movies that suck.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, but yeah, it's better than that.
Well, I just when you were saying that, like that just made me think of somebody's name that was infamous and crappy.
Yeah, yeah, and we already touched on 1922 Stephen King adaptation. Check that out.
Cannot wait to check that out.
I don't know what you're waiting on. Check it out. And Gerald's Game.
The kids go to bed tonight.
Gerald's Game.
That one too.
I actually enjoyed that one a little bit more. There's also a couple other movies that if you're a fan of like, and I know this is a big movie among the YouTube community, but The Void, that's on Netflix right now, and it's kind of like a throwback to like 80s horror and The Thing and stuff like that, like practical effects, and it's got some cool shit in it. The Windmill, it's a pretty good slasher. It's got kind of like a twist, like a bunch of people on a bus are going around looking at windmills, but come to find out they all have like a sin of their past. When they go there, there's like this killer, like a slasher, like a Jason Voorhees type character, but not Jason, killing them, but because of the sins of their past. So it's basically like, I have to rewatch it. It was a very effective like slasher type film, but it was like almost like their purgatory, almost like up for like, you know, you're gonna pay for your sins type film. The Devil's Candy. I really think that you would enjoy that movie. Ethan Embry is in it. He's the crazy dude from Empire Records. Really energetic, real skinny.
Yeah.
Ethan Embry. He also did what's that movie that Can't Hardly Wait. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah. He was the main guy in that movie. Well, he's a dad. They just got a house, and he's a painter as well. But this movie has a really rock star type gothic feel to the movie. Like rock and roll like plays a big role in this movie. And basically it's about a guy. He comes back to his old house, and he's like basically saying he lives here or whatever. And they're like, we bought this house. You got the wrong house. Blah blah blah. He leaves. Well, he comes back and tries to get the kid of the family. And basically, spoiler alert, Devil's Candy is children. And so it's like the dad, Ethan Embry, trying to save his family through the whole mess. That's summing it up just a little bit. And there's another movie that's coming out February 9th that I'm looking forward to, The Ritual. It looks like a mix between Blair Witch and some other bullshit, but it looks really good. I don't really know much about it. You gotta see the trailer. I'll leave a trailer in the description down below. But I'm very, very excited to check that movie out.
I'm big on comic book movies, so I cannot wait for Black Panther, Infinity War.
Yep.
I am stoked for those. Those are my two watch movies coming up in the future.
And Sarah Palin Nailin. You used to love that movie. That's a porno. Never mind. I'm just kidding.
Yep. I don't know that one.
All right. That's it for our movie talk. I know this was kind of drawn out, but we had a lot of topics to go over. This is our first episode of What's Brewing. I am Destin. This is Martin. Where can they find you at?
At Bachhold Martin on Twitter.
Yep. And I'm at Des the Pest on Twitter. Most of y'all are probably following me on Twitter anyways. And on my YouTube channel.
Stick around or catch the next part 2 of the episode where we go over the games.
Yep. Yeah, we got game topics coming up next. Since this was such a long video, we're going to make this a video by itself. I'll upload this. We'll get it out,
Got a two-parter.
and we'll have game topics as well. We'll make that its own video. All right, guys.
If nothing else, maybe once if it keeps going this way, we get a lot of movie news, game news. We'll just do one on movies, one on games.
Yep. Yep. And if you like what we're doing here today, subscribe. Consider subscribing. Hit that like button. And thanks for checking out Destination Station. And I'll see you on game topics. So, peace, guys. Say peace, Martin.
Alright, I did this.
Oh.